Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we're actually drilling, which surprises me a little bit because I didn't think we'd be drilling today. So this is the field. If you remember back about, how long ago was it? About almost a month ago, I suppose, I ploughed this field, finished ploughing it. It was a field that we had hoped to get drilled last autumn. Weather went completely against us, didn't get any drilling done on it. Ploughed the half of it, realised as we were ploughing across the field that it was getting wetter the more we ploughed it, and the more of it that we got ploughed, and we just knew that was it. We're going to just leave this till springtime. The springtime never arrived, as you know. It's only really arrived in the last few days. So yeah, conditions have just improved a lot over the last 2 nights ago. We checked this field to see how it was getting on, and I would have thought it would have needed at least another 24 hours before we'd be able to get into it to drill, but the conditions just kept improving till we got to the point where we are now, and it is fit to drill. So surprised that it has tried as much, but it's just the way the weather conditions the weather conditions went. We had quite a strong east wind over the last couple of days, which meant a lot of drying with that, and we've had a lot of sunshine. So just the way, only that come, we wouldn't be here drilling this today. So yeah, it's heavy ground. It's always heavy ground, and just with the way the weather went, it just completely affected us off from getting sown last year. Even though we did sow in these fields, we sowed 60 acres along other than this field that's here beside this, and there's parts of that didn't grow as well. I mentioned that in the ploughing video, but I will take a wee bit of footage of that. There's probably a field here with 23 acres of it. I'd say there's about 4 acres of it, maybe 3 or 4 acres of it that didn't grow. But look it's just, that's the way it is. It rained that much, the water lay in it, it suffocated the crop, and the crop never grew. So it is what it is. But if that there continues to dry as well, we might give it a bit of cultivation and we'll sow that with spring barley over the coming day or two as well. We'll see. It just depends all on what happens with the weather over the next few days, because I do think there is more rain coming. Great. But yeah, happy with how it is drilling up. Conditions actually couldn't be better. It's the first, Stad said earlier on, it's actually the first proper drilling that we were able to do with this tractor, because last year it was a tough slog to get what we got drilled. Just against the weather, conditions was a bit damp, and yeah, this is it's the first dry kind of drilling that we've been doing. So yeah, going to put the drone up. We'll try and get a wee bit of footage just of the bit of drilling, and we'll come back then and see what's in the next part of the video. Alright, so a bit of drone footage and a bit of commentary on it. I'll do a voiceover rather than just adding music in to all of this part of the video. Yeah, so getting on great at this stage. We've probably only a few acres left, and then the headlands. But so surprised that the conditions were as good as they were. Just fantastic. See, we hit a bit of a stone there. You see the drill jumping up. But yeah, Dad's kind of moving slowly here. I had done all the drilling across the field, and he literally just got in and done a few runs up and down so I could take the drone footage. So yeah, just I suppose when you're getting in and you haven't drove the tractor at all that day, or done any drilling, you just take your time for the first few runs just to get your bearings. But yeah, tractor's going well. We're using GPS fully now at this stage on the drilling, and
figured out how to put in your tram lines and mark them out on the screen. There's no markers being used, and you know where to put in your tram lines then on the mapping system, and it's all very simple once you get in on it. But yes, like everything, it takes a little bit of getting used to. We power hard this whole field, so there's like 10.5, 11 acres or something like that, and it power hard the whole field that morning first thing, and that really laid the foundations for it getting really dried out like the way it is, because it just broke it down, it leveled it out, and then the sun and the wind on the rest, and got it ready to where it is. Not something you do all the time, but just when this is the only bit of spring crop we have to put in, other than the bit of patching we have to do in the field behind this. So yeah, look, it wouldn't be feasible to go around power harrowing everything, but for the likes of this here on this occasion, it just worked out well. We will be doing something on a forward press for the autumn, but more on that whenever it happens. The field, a couple of places didn't dry out in the field, and just looking at them now, this is one area, so we didn't drill this part because there was no point, the tractors were sinking down it. So that area, and then there's a small area down here as well, and we just drive around it. There's no point in doing anything with it at the minute. The fact that the rest of the field is dried out so well, that's all we can do for now. Just driving back up, and I'll show you this field now. That the crop failed to grow. So you can see there's an area here around where the Jeep and telehandler is, just along the bottom, and then these areas here, it's all in hollows of the field where the water just lay in it, and it just never grew at all. So there's a field of wheat out the other side, and there's about an acre and a half in it too. You can see it there, just a strip at the bottom and this strip along the side. and then these strips here. This is the worst area here, this field, and a couple of spots down here. And then you'll see when I look back up towards the road, there's an area then and a strip up there as well. So cultivation is needed on that. Open it up and we'll come along and sow a bit of spring barley in it. That's the plan with it. So look, it's not ideal. If we didn't know that it was going to rain as much as it did, we certainly would not have, we wouldn't have went ahead and drilled it. We did expect there was a couple of places there was water lying, and we knew that the water would stop the crop from growing in it, but it's the rain that it done after we drilled it that just destroyed it altogether. So anyway, that's the way it goes. So that's more or less all the footage of the drilling now. I have a bit of footage of the ring rolling, and I'm going to add some music over it.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't want to waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't want to waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on. till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and
So I'm just up and handling machinery. So just spotted this in the corner of my eye. Look at that, a 6910S in and for sale. Oh, nice. All right, so we got the drilling finished. We got it ring rolled. The field is done. Great. The other thing I also mentioned was we had some patching to do, and that's what we're working on at the minute. We're just getting it ready for getting the patching done. So you see, I was up and handling machinery there. You see me pulling in. The reason I was up and handling machinery was I had to pick this baby up. It is a 3 meter subsoiler cultivator with it's like, I suppose you could call it 2 rollers or crumblers on the back for beating down anything that it digs up, and it's doing a mighty job on this here. So basically this here all flooded last year, this whole section of this field. There's this field here, and then there was the other field then that we were looking at as well. So there's a couple of acres here probably in this field. There's probably 2 or 3 acres in the other field. So no problem up here, everything's fine. But this part here, there's a river down along here. It at some stage with all the rain over the winter flooded out and more or less sealed it killed all the crop and sealed the ground that it's holding the water. There's dampness in it. So that's where this baby comes in. She's dropped down in the ground probably about 8 inches, 9 inches, burying herself in, digging first of all breaking the seal, but more importantly then leaving what would be not too bad of a seed bed. So when that dries out a little bit and we come in now with the drill next week, it'll be a nice seed bed once the power harrow gets at it, and we should have a couple of acres of spring barley here. So just see it in action here. We will do a walk around on it, so we'll just drop it out into the ground and you'll see it in action now just as we take off down the field. as you can see, doing a really nice job. See, there's still a little bit of water laying over here, and there's a bit of water laying in this part here, but what I'm going to do with that is I'll revert in, I'll just drop the subsoiler into it, and I can pull lumps of it out and just break the seal and open it that it can soak away down into the ground. So yeah, doing a really nice job. I've a bit of drone footage to pull up, you can see it in action as well, and then we'll do a walk around it then when we get back to the yard tomorrow, because I'm on the pressure just a bit to get it finished. So okay, have a look at the drone footage and we'll do the walk around now straight after that. Alright, so we're going to get a little look at the Alpego Ripper walking now from the sky. So where we're driving across here, there is, you can see how hard the ground is, how sealed it became. And with this drive out now, where it was soft a couple of weeks ago when I was in here ploughing it, it is now rock hard. It has went the other way. So I either had to rip it or plough it. I did try ploughing. See that there's a couple of scores ploughed down along the bottom, but it was too wet. I was back 5 or 6 weeks ago when I was ploughing the field the other side of the ditch. So yeah, this is a much better job. It actually looks like there is plenty of plants there on the bottom side of the tractor, but there's not. They're very sparse, and there's actually some grasses began to grow there through it as well, and it's making it look greener there than what it is. Top side of the tractor, or where I'm cultivating, actually is fine, but just that section. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to take that out of it, because what's the point in fertilising it and spraying it and wasting fertiliser and spraying it, and you would only maybe, a fifth of the plants there that should be. So, you know, you're going to be just wasting money with it. So we're coming over to drill it anyway. An extra 10-15 minutes I'll drill this section as well, just get it drilled. But yeah, machine's doing a great job. We couldn't have had anything better doing it. You see me now, I go through a little wet area here in front of the tractor, and as I go through it, it's very wet. See the tractor slowing down going through it. An hour and a half later, when I was coming back, the water was gone. It had just split it open and the water had soaked away, and that's just exactly what we wanted. Very annoying having to do this. This whole field was drilled the year before, and apart from like a little corner in on one side of the field, there was no issues with anything like this. It's just the air that was in it, and all the wet and rain just screwed it, but it is what it is. So lucky they've gotten that bit of ripping done yesterday, because we wouldn't be doing it today. Done a lot of rain overnight. It's raining on and off most of the day, so at least now we have all those bits all ripped, all torn up and opened up, and the water now should be able to get down and get away. So this is the machine we're using. It is the Alpego Skat-K1, or Skat-K1. So well built machine. Subsoiler, stroke ripper, stroke cultivator, whatever you want to call it, depends where you are. But yeah, super job. She's got a built-in, bit like the ploughs. Basically, you adjust the pressure here on the system. There's an accumulator on it. You can adjust your pressure up to whatever bars you want, just same as a plough, and that will then determine at what point or how much or how easy you want the machine to trip out if it hits a rock or hits a stone. And yeah, pretty simple. So yeah, she'll trip out once she catches a net, and she'll trip back, and it basically saves breaking anything or doing any harm, which is what you want it to do. Built strong. There is I don't know whether they all come with this what I call like a crumbler system on the back of it, but it is a super job. Because what I found was, when it was ripping up, the ground, it would rip up in kind of like in chunks. So it would leave big chunks on each side, and then this coming along would just tear through them and start to break them up, and it just leave them in nice smaller pieces that if they dry out a little bit more, when you come along then drilling with your power harrow or cultivator, whatever you're going to use, it'll just chop them up and break the bits up, and it'll leave a lovely seed bed for the job. So the crumblers themselves, the way they're spaced out, you can see they're spaced on each one so that they're not in line, and it just means it's doing double the work as well. Yeah, great job. It's quite a heavy machine. There's good old pull on it now, and the 215 knew that it was behind it, especially if you dropped her down. So yeah, you'd want a decent sized tractor for pulling it. And as I say, there's good stuff in it, so it is quite heavy. They are well built. There's also, you can see there's a gauge here on the back of it, so with rams set up on the crumbler at the back. So basically what you do is lift this here up full, you drop this down, what do you want down, 6, 8, 10 inches into the ground, a foot into the ground. You set it, your height on the tractor. You then adjust this here down that it's just running on the ground, and that'll basically help to keep your height then all the time, as well as the tractor doing that too. So yeah, fairly simple, and that is a great, I'd say some of them, I see you can buy this here without this on it, but I think this here would be a great addition to it, and having that on would be a big plus, because even if you didn't want to use it, you can always lift it up out of the way and still just do your ripping. So yeah, it is a good addition. There is stands on it here, and I would say that if you hadn't got this, I call it the crumbler here on the back, if you hadn't got that on it, you'd want the stands then just to hold the whole machine steady when hooking off. But yeah, when you'd have the crumbler on it, you wouldn't need that. But yeah, that's basically her. She's super machine, Alpego. As I say, I didn't know much about them, so it's the first time using it, but certainly very, very impressed with it. Great machine, and it done exactly what we needed over there. Just ripped the ground up and made a great job of it. So yeah. So that's it, the Alpego. Big thank you to Hanlon Machinery for giving it to me to demonstrate. It done exactly what we wanted, and we're great to be able to try it out and to show it to everybody, to show it working. If you're in the market for one of them, give Hanlon's a shout. They will only be too happy to show it to you, to talk you through it, demonstrate it if you wanted to demo it. They have this machine up there in stock ready for demonstrating. Just give them a call, get talking to Paddy or Michael, and yeah, they'll sort you out with a demonstration and talk you through it. But yeah, great machine, very impressed with it. So that's it for today's video, an update on what's been going on over the last few days. Busy few days. We have letting some cattle out. There's been more cows and calves gotten out, more calves born, but I'll do an update video during the week on that. Maybe a Wednesday video, it'll be a whole cattle update on it and what's been going on with them. Yeah, so we'll do that as a Wednesday video. But yeah, that's really it for today's video anyway. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the sub button, ring the little bell, gives you notification every time I post a video. Leave a like in the video, comment in the comment section any questions or comments to make. Comment in there, I'll try to reply back to them if I can. And yeah, that's really it. The rain is back. God, we missed it for those 5 days I wasn't here. Anyway, see you in the next one.